Okay, so welcome back. My name is Kirkland. If you're new, I'm sorry. There's a lot of construction going on outside, so if you can hear that, I apologize. But basically, we're back to talk about the TopStep account. So, I passed the eval in like 3 days, 2 to 3 days. I think it was three. It's like the soonest you can do it. Passed it in 3 days. Waited a bit, and then paid for the eval. So I have an express funded account. So I'll show you guys here in a second. And we're gonna talk about one thing. So from the past videos of when I was trading Forex with my small $200 account, my strategy was support resistance on the higher time frames, so like daily and 4 hour. And I would close trades early if they seemed to not work out. So like if they broke what I believe to be like a support zone, I would close it early. If it broke what I thought would be a resistance zone, I would close it early. And in the hopes of cutting my losers short and keeping my winners open to actually let them run and hit the target profit, to essentially make more on my winners than I lose on my losers, is like the whole point. So it's just support resistance. That is it. So with that being said, moving forward, I'm doing the same thing, the same strategy, but just on futures, aka TopStep. So I started a TopStep account. So that $200 account, if I haven't already said this, I think I did in the last video, $200 account is like goodbye. I withdrew my money and I was like, I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to trade TopStep because I was basically trading futures anyways with that $200. So like, what's the point of continuing to do that if I can just trade TopStep? There's a couple more rules, like 2 or 3 rules, but I'd rather do that and have like an uncappable is, I don't know, the best, unlimitable, I don't even know what the word is, but basically the ceiling for profits is way higher than just a small $200 account. It's like pointless. So I'm just going to trade TopStep because I was basically trading futures anyways. So all that being said, I'm going to show you the TopStep account. This whole title, like the whole video is just talking about cutting losers early, because I took a trade last night. There's a couple things, we'll talk about it deeper, but this is like important because I feel like I've heard people say, actually I don't think I've heard anybody say this actually, that cutting losers in futures is good. But that's like the only way that I know of like controlling risk the best way I can is just like to close trades early that don't seem like they're working out. On futures, things happen a lot quicker, especially like the lower the time frame you're on, the harder it is to kind of cut trades early because it happens like insanely fast. So I stick to like the 30-minute to like the 1 hour. I try to do it on the higher time frame if I can. Daily kind of just looks like it's hard to be specific. 4 hours easier, 1 hour is even easier. 30-minute is like kind of getting close to like too low of a time frame to where it's not even considered. I don't know, but like basically it just gets a little bit more like rapid the lower time frame I go, and then depending on where I put my stop loss and my take profit, if it'll give me enough time to even close the trades early if they're in loss. So I took an opportunity last night. It ended up being a losing trade. I closed it early. My stop loss was $400. My take profit was $400. So I'm just doing 1-to-1 risk reward ratios. It's like all I'm doing for every trade. It's just 1-to-1 risk reward ratios. I'm trading differently than when I was with the eval. With like the eval stage, I'm trying to get over it as quick as possible because the whole goal is just to get to like the funded part, which I'm there now. So I traded differently. I wasn't really shooting for 1-to-1s. I was, but I was really aiming for like big returns. But I was still closing trades early in the eval stage if they didn't work out. But this is like a perfect example. Like this happened last night, and it's like the perfect opportunity to like, I don't know, showcase and use it as an example because it's like the perfect, like, I don't know how to explain it. You'll see in a second. But basically, I'm just going to move myself and we're going to talk about it. Now I'm going to show you guys. So let's move myself here. So I think that's good. I'm going to move myself here. So this is on the NASDAQ. I was not trading. Actually, I think I left it on NQ. I didn't trade micros. That's why it was so freaking heavy, actually. But you can see at the top left, my account is funded, 50K Express. When it's in that yellow letters is how you know like an account is in like the live stage. I don't even know if I would call it live because they even say it's still a demo account, but the returns for the payouts are like actual, it's real money. But this is how you know that somebody has like passed the test. But basically, this is, so I don't even know how to dive into this to give you all the context because this was like a freaking perfect trade. The only reason why I didn't, okay, so hold on. First off, let's go to like the daily time frame. Actually, not even. I saw this on the 4-hour. So this is the opportunity that I took. So firstly, let's go to the performance. So I lost $128 out of $400. That's pretty good because I lost like basically a fourth of what my stop loss was. And I'm glad I did because if I didn't, I would have lost a full $400. That's like the reason why I love closing trades early because you can get yourself out of a trade that is going to lose and you can preserve your capital. Because had I lost $400 on this, I've only got like $1,600 more to work with because on TopStep, if you hit a loss limit maximum of like $2,000 or if your account gets below 49,000 or 48,000, excuse me, they basically close your account and you have to do the eval process again. It's annoying. So I closed the trade early. I only lost 128. Really 126, but because of like the lot difference, they charge, like I guess they charge you a small little fee for opening the trade, but so 128, it took one trade, and this is the important part. So look where the price is. My entry price was 29,823. Okay, we're gonna remember that number, 29,823.50, I guess. My exit price was 29,808. So I went long here. Okay, my direction, my position was long. Fee of $3, commission $2. I lost 124 really on this trade, but because of commissions and fees, it's 128. Okay, so let's like just break it down from the beginning. Again, all I do is support resistance on a daily 4-hour, sometimes 1 hour if it's clean enough, right? I think the 1 hour or like the 1 hour is even still like a little too much information because the whole point, like I love to just make it simple. Who I've learned to just make it very, very simple to duplicate and very simple to do over and over and over again. So if we're looking at this naked, I'm just going to remove everything. So there were a lot of opportunities during my eval stage. Like I took some phenomenal trades. Like I thought that this would have been a zone here. Something kind of a little choppy, but at the time, this was the only candle. So like from here, this was like all that you could really see. It was a great buy opportunity. But we're going to remove that. We're just going to talk about the trade that I saw last night and why I think it is actually good to practice closing trades early, at least for me, right? Again, I'm not saying this because I am a like master at trading futures and Forex. I do not have it all figured out. I have not had like millions in payouts or like, you know, I'm not rich, but this is just what I'm telling myself, right? So like I'm going to continue to practice closing trades early. So last night, this is where I wish that there was like a replay mode. You know what? There is a replay mode if you just go to TradingView. But I'm going to move this over here. Let me make sure it's still recording and stuff. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So perfect. I had my alert here. My alert didn't go off, but it was like somewhere around here. That's what that blue line was for on TopStep. But I knew, had this have not happened overnight, I would have entered this trade. Of course, it's easy to say that in hindsight, but literally my blue line was right there on TopStep. Like if I hit Command Z, is it gonna bring it back up? Yeah, like. This blue line is what I was looking for. This is what I was waiting for right here. It was like 10 or 11 at night, and I was waiting to go long here, okay? So I entered at 29.8. What the hell was it? 29.808. Actually, that's my exit price. 29.823. So we're going to go to replay mode, and we're just going to oh shoot. I didn't even do that. This right here. Okay, so this is at 10 last night, like 10 or 11. I had to be up this morning, so there's no way that I would have like sat around and waited for this trade. I was there's no way I'm doing that. Like this happened over like probably like 2 or 3 a.m. and there's no way I'm waiting for that. So I had my little blue line, like let's just say somewhere right here. Oh, okay, let's not do that then. Let's just say like horizontal rate. Let's say like this is where my alert was on TopStep. So price comes up here. It makes a new high into this little area, creates a new high. And it falls down. And then it comes back up, right? And it breaks past this zone. So here, this is where like the high was. For me, I'm just saying like, okay, this is the new high. I like using new highs and new lows as resistance or support zones because this is the first time that price has touched this area or came to this area, right, before, and it created like a new high. New highs and new lows, to me, I think that they're going to be retested again at some point in the future. Not always, because trading is not like obsolete and objective truths all the time. Like sometimes price will make a new high and then completely like skip past it. Or it can make a new low and completely just break past it. It's not going to be true all the time, but it's something to like watch out for. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for this new high. So I use my little zone. I draw out this little zone and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for, I saw this like a couple days ago after this was made and price was down here. Like this was like literally like last week almost. And I saw this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for this new high to be tested again. So I'm waiting for all of this to happen. And what's funny is like trading on like the higher time frames, especially on like TopStep, because you can't hold trades overnight because they close out your positions and it's futures. They don't allow you to do that. But the funny part of my strategy is like I just have to, most of my strategy is just waiting and being patient and waiting for things to set up. It's not like I'm always looking for something like, okay, now's the perfect time to enter, or like, okay, now's the perfect time. Like I'm entering while things are happening. I wait for them to happen, to set up, and then I take the opportunity. So most of my strategy is just waiting. So this was made, price comes down, bounces away, comes up. It's like perfect. It comes up. And then I checked yesterday. This was like early on in the day, and it broke through this zone. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait for like a break and retest. When price breaks a zone that was previously support or resistance, just wait for it to break past. But it had already broken past. And by the time I checked again later on in the day, this was going on. This big candle right here was in play. Like it was already going down. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So what I'm going to wait for is I'm going to wait for a retest here. I'm going to wait for it to come lower into this zone, and then I'm going to buy. And this candle, so this is like one of the things that I want to highlight here is because as this was happening, in this area, you can draw a support resistance zone, but you don't know exactly where it's going to bounce. Like, there's no way to tell. Nothing, there's no confirmation that's going to like confirm like, all right, man, you should buy now because it's only going up from here. You're going to experience zero drawdown. You just don't know. And so that's why I don't really pay attention to like confirmations either of like, all right, I'm going to wait for this next candle. I'm going to wait for this candle to close and for the next candle to open. I'm going to wait for it to open. And as soon as that one is started, then I'm going to enter or whatever the case is. I don't do confirmation candles or whatever. So I don't really know how to explain it, but I just know that I just don't wait for confirmation because even if you do, your trade's still probably going to lose just as easy as if you didn't wait for confirmation. It's probably they have like the same win-loss rate basically. It's like there's no point. So I just waited, and this candle, it would push down, and then it would start going up. And as soon as it started going up in my head, I was like, maybe this is the bounce here. Maybe, like, it's not going to come all the way down to the zone. Maybe it's just going to, like, come really close to, like, where it's sitting at right now. Maybe it's just going to sit right there and then bounce from here. But I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to go ahead and jump in. I'm not going to go ahead and buy. I'm just going to wait. And so it kept pushing down even lower. I'm like, perfect. See, this is what I was waiting for. Had I entered earlier and felt like I was missing out on the move already or felt like I was not going to make money on this turn, whatever happens in my brain, right? Those are like the main things I think of. I'm like, oh, I missed the move, and now I'm going to miss a great trade, and then that's like an opportunity to make money. It's like, whoa, cancel that. Slow down, bro. let's just wait. That's like the best thing. That's like the best thing that can happen is you just wait for the trade. Oh, and if you wait for it and you miss it, it's like you didn't lose anything. So chill. Another opportunity will come. So it was pushing back down, and I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be the move where like it's gonna go straight down in this area, and then I'll buy. It would go down a little lower, and then to start going up again. And I'm like, oh snap, is this the move? Is this where I should buy now? And then I'm like, nah, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for it to get down to this area where my line is. And then it kept going down, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I'm glad I waited because this is where the bounce is going to happen. And it kept going down. I was like, I'm glad I waited, and it would bounce up. It's just that thing kept happening over and over. It would go down lower. I'm like, glad I waited. And it started going up, and it'd leave like a big wick. And I'm like, I should have just waited. I should probably just enter now because I think this is where the move's going to happen. Sometimes it's not going to play out perfectly. It could happen up here in the zone and start bouncing and have that big, strong move. And I could miss it, which is likely to happen. But I was like, I'm just going to stick to my guns and wait until it comes into this zone completely, and then I'll enter, and it'll look something like this. I placed my stop loss. I thought that it could possibly bounce somewhere here, so I just put my stop loss like right here. I think it was like, it's just a 1-to-1 stop loss of like $400, take profit of like $400. That's like what I was waiting for the trade to look like. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and things play out. And so here, this is where I entered. So I entered at 29,825, something like that. I entered. Let me see. I'm trying to get it like exact. I entered somewhere like right here. I think it was like 823.50 was like where I entered. So it was basically like right here. So I entered because I was like, there's a big wick right here, as you can see. I entered. There's a big wick on this candle. And I was like, maybe this is the bounce, because look at these little candles here after it happened. This is me waiting for confirmation when I just said like 3 or 4 minutes ago that I don't wait for confirmation. And I saw these little bounces. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is probably where it's going to start bouncing. So I was like, I'm going to enter. If worst case scenario, if it goes against me, I'm just going to close the position early, which I did end up doing. If it plays out, perfect. I caught a move. I waited for like, a couple bullish candles, waiting for confirmation. This is exactly why I don't really even wait for confirmation in the first place. I don't know why I did it here. What I should have done is just continue to wait. But had I done that, it would have been like 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got to be up this morning. There's no way I'm waiting for that. So I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and enter. I got impatient. I was like, I'm not waiting till like 2 or 3 a.m. to enter this trade. Excuse me. Gosh, bro. To enter this trade. I'm just going to go ahead and get in now. I wish I had waited. So you can see, like, after this started happening, I just closed it. I was like, probably like 30 minutes went by, and I was like, I just really feel like this is basically where I exited at like 28.08, but a little lower. And I was like, after this started happening, I saw these two little candles start going down, and I'm like, you know what? I really feel like I should have just waited in the first place. So I ended up closing early here, and which I'm glad I did. I think my stop loss was like something. It was something here. I don't remember the specifics of like where my stop loss and take profit were, but basically, I closed it early, and I was like, this trade lost. I'm just going to go to sleep. Have to be up. I'm not really worried about it. I'll find another opportunity sometime here in the future. So I'll take a $128 loss. Like that's fine. And I can't help that this happens overnight at 2 to 3 a.m. So there's no way that I'm waiting for this. So it plays out. It goes lower to exactly where I wanted it to. And this would have been the perfect entry right here. Like this would have been it. So had I just waited here, which I wasn't going to, like I just said, because it would have been like 2 or 3 a.m. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. right now. 7 a.m. I had to be up this morning. I probably could, if I woke up sooner, I probably could have taken this trade. Actually, it probably wouldn't have been 2 to 3 a.m. Had I just woken up early, I could have taken this trade. But anyways, whatever. This is the move that I was waiting for. I was waiting for this buy opportunity. And that would have been beautiful, bro. Like, look at that. That would have been a beautiful trade. but I didn't take it. Instead, I got in way too early. I got in right here because I'm like, it's already starting to make some. I'm waiting for confirmation, these couple little candles. But I should have just basically waited. This would have happened at like 7 a.m. This would have been perfect, bro. This would have been perfect. So I guess I'm taking some accountability here. I could have like woken up early and really been about this trade. I could have really been about this trading stuff, and I could have woken up early if I'm really about it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to beat myself up over not waiting for this trade, because this would have been a great trade. I would have added to it. I'm still going to do the same thing that I was doing in Forex of adding to trades, adding to my winners and cutting losers early. You can make winners really big and you can cut your losers early. Like, bro, there's so many opportunities, and you're going to catch a trade that's just going to work out so easily, and you're going to make back those losses, especially if you add to a trade. Like, bro, if I added to this trade, this would have been a huge trade. Risking $400, probably would have added to it and like same position sizes. Probably would have been like an $800 winner, maybe something like that. But I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda. So that is like what I was waiting for, and that's why I'm still glad that I closed the trade early. Even though if I still stayed in it overnight, like this still would have worked out. I still would have made like at least $400. But the fact that I'm not able to close it early, if like it does go down here and I'm like, I just don't think that this trade is going to work out, I just close it early. So I guess you can say closing the trade early kind of bit me in the butt, but I'm glad I did, because that kind of would have been irresponsible trading to me. Like, just like, I'm just going to enter the trade, I'm going to go to sleep, and just whatever happens, happens. It's like, I don't believe in doing that. I don't believe in trading that way, at least for me. Like, that doesn't mean that every time I go to sleep, I'm just going to close all trades. Like, in Forex, I just left them open overnight. I didn't care. I knew that I was going to be good. If I took the stop loss, I took the stop loss. But in this case, in futures, nah, I'd rather not. So I know that another opportunity is going to come sooner. This move has already happened. So this is like present right now. So let's go back to TopStep. So it is what it is. So that move I missed. That's basically like me explaining the whole thing of like cutting trades early and what I was looking for. Like, that would have been a great opportunity. A phenomenal opportunity. So what am I looking for now? To be honest, I don't see anything that clear. This was the only opportunity that I saw to buy here. I missed it. It's okay. Other than that, I don't see anything. Unless it comes back and tests again, which probably could happen. It might fiddle around and then come back and touch again, and then I'll probably buy here. But the more that a zone is tested, it can get a little hairy with re-entering again. But I might just do that, honestly. If it comes back down to here, I'll probably buy again. I feel confident entering, because if it goes against me, I can just close it early and take a half loss, partial loss. So it is what it is. But for the most part, I mean, price made a new high. It already tested and then is now finding support, and it's going up. But I mean, I don't really see anything. This is on the NQ, by the way, so you can see. But that basically sums it up. I wanted this to be like a rather quick video. I just want to talk about this scenario and the first trade that I took on this account, which ended up being a loser, which is fine. But man, would that have been a great trade? Like, that's the thing that I love about support resistance, is because it took me like not even 5 minutes to look at this and be like, oh, bro, I'm just going to wait for it to come down here. I'm just going to buy. It was that easy. It wasn't like what's the order flow of here, and like, okay, the buyers are or the sellers are right here. You know, this is a strong resistance, you know, and like I'm waiting for the order flow, and then like, you know, there's the fair value gap, and then I'm not trying to diss anybody who does that, but it's just like, I just think it's more complicated than like it needs to be. It's like, bro, price already rejected here. It's coming up. Wait for it to test again, and it's easy. But even people who trade support resistance, it's like, all right, you've got a line here, you've got support there, and then, you know, you've got bounces throughout here too. But then you also have like some like resistance zones, you know, like maybe like right up here, and then it just gets kind of like ridiculous. So I just wait for like the big clear zones that show that they have bounced from this area before. So I'm just going to wait for that area to bounce again, or for price to come to that area and then make the decision to either buy or sell. Because literally all price is going to do is just go up or down. You only have two options, buy or sell. So that basically sums it up. I'm going to continue to try to close trades early and keep that as my strategy and see how it goes. The thing that I like about TopStep is like it tracks everything for you. So I'll be able to see like more information and like in depth of like is closing trades early a good thing to do or is it not? So I guess in this case, me closing this trade early, maybe it wasn't a good thing to do, but I'm still happy with the decision. I feel like it was a responsible thing to do because had this hit my stop loss and I could have probably prevented. Like I'd rather set myself up for a position where I can manage my losses. This would have been a cool trade. I missed it. It's fine. I just don't see anything else here. I'll probably like look at gold. I like gold. I know that this is like the big one, but the heavy one. Gold's kind of choppy. I don't really like it. I keep doing that, dude. Stop. So, other than that, I don't know. I mean, like, something. I don't even like that, though, because it's making higher or lower highs into the zone. Every time price does that, I do not like taking buy opportunities when price is just making lower highs into the zone. It's just, it doesn't show any kind of strength. So I probably won't be touching gold at all either. Maybe a sell opportunity if it like breaks, comes back, tests, and then like look for a sell of something like that. Stop above here, all nice little 1-to-1. I don't know. That's just not something that I'm just looking at it, but it's not something that I'm going to like do. But I mean, strong move here. It broke, kind of like did like a little fake out, tested, bounced, tested really hard and bounced. Came down, broke through. It's just kind of clean, but not really clean. So it's like, do I want to dabble with that? Probably not. I probably won't do anything with that. But as for the most part, NQ is like the main thing that I'm looking at. So we're just gonna wait. Basically, that's all we do with my strategies. I just wait, just be patient and chill, and wait for things to play out. So that's it. So gonna move myself and make myself a little bigger to end this, but hopefully that like I don't know was cool to like look at. Maybe it was like kind of helpful. I don't know. Hopefully, but what's cool is I have 2 jobs. Well, technically 3, but I'll be working like overnight. So I look tired right now, but I'll be working overnight. So maybe like trades that happen overnight, like good moves, like I'll be able to catch those. And then I have another job that's like throughout the day, so I'll probably be able to trade throughout the day. I mainly just use my phone for TopStep, like trading, because most of the time I can't sit here and like do this and trade from my computer. I have to just do most of it from my phone. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard to make videos. It's just going to be like videos like this where I'm just talking about what happened and then like replaying it and showing it. Doing like little like actual like recordings of me taking the trade and like waiting for it to set up would be kind of cool. I plan on doing something like that, but I just thought that this would be a cool video because like it covers a topic of like me closing trades early, which is like a huge part of my strategy. And maybe I should have kept this one open, but I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So, you know. But yeah, man. So if you watch this, I appreciate it. Hopefully I got more coming out. I will be watching NASDAQ, gold. It's like mainly the only 2 for the most part. I like to just look at those 2. But I'll be making more videos hopefully of like different topics. But I think that this one was cool to cover. 'Cause I just don't think that a lot of people do this of closing trades early. It's like most people that I see on like Instagram or YouTube, they just like let it hit their stop loss. But it's like if you can prevent that, why not like take a half loss? But then there's this whole psychology of like, but if you close a trade early, it has a possibility of like working out, like what just happened in this video of this example. So it's like, should you not? It's like, I don't even know, bro. I think you should just do whatever seems right to you. So anyways, that's enough. I appreciate you for watching. I'll have more coming out soon. So thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.